Some people think the Yucatan is a strange place. The New Agers at the equinox, the comet that took out the dinosaurs, and Pip and Flip.
The Yucatan isn't really strange, but it's a very interesting place. So I'm going to show you some of the things that I like about it.
If, instead of going to work one day, you drove southeast for 600 years, you'd end up here. This is Mayapan, the last political capital of the Maya, which ruled most of the Yucatan from about 1200 through sometime in the 1400s. It was led by a council of tribes, and eventually disintegrated in civil war about a century before the Spanish arrived. The Spanish built their capital, Merida, at a place called Tahoe. This is the house of Francisco Montejo, the leader of the Spanish forces. It shares the central plaza with a cathedral and official buildings. It's a nice place to spend a warm January day, eating street food and people watching. In the evenings they have dances and concerts. Merida is the only large city on the Yucatan Peninsula. It has around 1 million people and feels like a big modern city. At the same time, there's almost 500 years of history. During the late 1800s, it was one of the richest places on Earth. It turned out that fiber from the local cactus was the only thing strong enough to use in hay balers. There were more millionaires per square mile in Merida than anywhere else on Earth.
Merida's architecture recalls those days with some beautiful old houses like this one. Some of them are still cared for, and some of them are not.
Americans and other foreigners began restoring the old buildings in Merida, and now many of the old casonas that had fallen into ruin have been saved. Thousands of gringos live here now. Merida is about 20 minutes to the nearest beaches, but if you drive west for about an hour through the small towns and countryside, you get to see thousands of flamingos, seabirds, and crocodiles at Celestune.
There are lots of museums in Merida, and this is one of my favorites. This is the Palacio Canton, the city's anthropology museum. The museum is very interesting, but the house itself is spectacular. At the north end of town, there's this brand new museum about the Mayan Indians.
The Maya did some amazing things: advanced mathematics, the only fully developed writing system in the New World, and a very fancy calendar. Unfortunately, they devoted a lot of that culture to nearly constant warfare and occasional mass murder. It's certainly nicer to see today's Maya dancing than it must have been to see them in 1848 when they surrounded Merida's city walls.
Merida's not all art museums and history. There's amazing food here, everything from tacos and tamales to very shishi gastronomy.
There are movies in Spanish and English, casinos, fancy places to shop, and even a nice skating rink.
So those are a few of the reasons why I really like Merida. If you get the chance to come, you really ought to take it. Thanks for watching. Adios.